And this next one, just like that last fight, it's another fight that I think is a bit of a squash match with Muhammad Mokaev taking on Malcom Gordon. Malcom Gordon's coming in as a huge plus 500 underdog, but he does have 2 wins in a row, so you have to respect that. He's coming off that finish against Denise Bondar, where he broke Bondar's arm. Before that, he got an upset win over Francisco Figueiredo by decision. And he did start his UFC career 0-2. He got finished twice in the first round, and usually when Malcom Gordon loses, he's getting finished early. He has a questionable chin. I mean, if you touch him on the chin even once, it seems like he tends to go down. And in his fight with Amir Albazi, he showed, he struggled against really good wrestlers with heavy top pressure and good submission games. And with Muhammad Mokaev, you got just that. But Malcom Gordon on the feet is fairly slick with his offensive striking. He has good pull counters. He could switch stance counter, and he has some power. So for flyweight, if he lands clean, he is one of those guys that could change the tide of the fight, but he also has bad durability, and it's not like he sets up his strikes the best. It's more like he just is tricky, and if he can connect clean with one of his pull twos or one of his switch stance attacks, then he can hurt you. But I think Mokaev is a lot more technical, a lot sharper on the feet overall, more durable, and he showed in certain fights, the Cody Durden fight and a couple others, that his striking is moving up just like his grappling. He landed that head kick, dropped Cody Durden, and then submitted him. And his last fight, I mean, it was a little bit of a cure to insomnia with Charles Johnson. I mean, he barely threw any punches and just kind of grinded him out for 3 consecutive rounds. I think he knew Charles Johnson is a beast. This guy could strike really well. He's long, rangy, and I don't want to have anything to do with that. And on the ground, he knew Charles Johnson was a good grappler, that if he gave him space, or if he kind of tried to advance into a more dominant position, he could maybe let Charles Johnson get back up to his feet. So he just basically just held him down and didn't do much. But I guess it showed good fight IQ, and that's kind of what I've seen from Muhammad Mokaev in a lot of his other fights, where he didn't have that high propensity to finish. He didn't really feel like he was thinking about the finish too much. But with Malcom Gordon, I do feel like a finish is almost inevitable in this one. Malcom Gordon's a guy that can't take shots well, and if you take him down, he tends to make mistakes. He does have a decent guard, and he does have good jiu-jitsu. You have to give him that, but I don't think he's the best off his back, and if you can use some ground and pound to get him to give you a dominant position, you could submit him fairly easily, and you could also knock him out. So I feel like this is Mokaev's fight to lose and Mokaev's fight to get the finish early. So I'm going to say Mokaev, as long as he shows up and fights to his full capabilities, he goes out there and gets the first round finish either by knockout or by submission. I just think that UFC is trying to set this up for Mokaev to get back in there, have another highlight reel performance, and then maybe move him up the rankings, because his last fight was a little bit boring. But I don't really see how Malcom Gordon has very much form in terms of winning. Even if Muhammad Mokaev somehow can't finish, I don't know how Malcom Gordon would get the victory. So I think Mokaev is going to get the job done here, and I'm going to say he wins in the first round.